A Calgary couple attacked in their home, trying to sell a laptop.
They sprayed all across my face, towards the eye.
Pepper sprayed and beaten, but they fought back even when the crooks returned. Plus, the province wants to review Calgary's bike lanes.
Is it a review for the sake of actual constructive outcomes, or is it a review based on ideology?
Cyclists who use them say the province needs to stay in its own lane.
I'm offended that the province would waste time and money on meddling into decisions that the city is perfectly capable of managing themselves.
And putting on a real show. Two bucks lock horns on a city street, forcing residents to make a run for it.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. A Calgary couple says they felt like they were fighting for their lives during a violent attempted robbery in their home. The disturbing incident was caught on home security camera. As Kevin Green tells us, police are investigating now to see if it's related to other similar robberies in our city.
Saturday afternoon, Jason Nguyen was trying to sell a laptop. He let a pair of prospective buyers into his Dover home to test it. Seconds later, a can of bear spray was unleashed in his face.
The moment that I turned towards the laptop, that's when I was hit with the bear spray. They sprayed all across my face, towards the eye, and at that point, I'm just acting reactively. For me, the safety of my wife is priority.
His wife, Nan Au, heard the commotion and ran out of their bedroom. By then, Nguyen was being pulled out the front door.
I see he's being dragged outside. And in front of our house, we have the shovel. So I just grabbed the shovel and kicking the individual that hurting my husband until to let him let go.
As Al kept swinging the shovel, one of the men broke away and ran down the steps, then turned and began kicking Nguyen in the ribs.
I'm really scared. I'm mostly scaring for our life.
But the assailants weren't finished yet. After kicking Nguyen in the front yard, one of them ran back into the house.
So he dropped his phone. So he came in and he picked up his phone. At that point, I still didn't know why he was re-entering our home, right? And so I started attacking him.
The attackers never did get the laptop, but the assault left the family home's walls stained with bear spray residue and Nguyen's arms and legs covered in bruises. The Calgary Police Service says it is investigating whether this attack is connected to other online sale robberies in the city.
And do we have people out there doing this on the regular? Regrettably, yes, we do. Do we know this is tied to one of those things? We don't know that yet, but we'll certainly be looking into that.
The Better Business Bureau says incidents like this underscore the risk of letting strangers into your home to complete a transaction.
Don't meet without at least one other person. When you go somewhere, make sure it's a busy public spot, and you know that will go a long ways to ensuring your safety.
Kevin joins us tonight from the District 4 police station in Northeast Calgary. And Kevin, police stations can also help with safety in these instances.
Tara, both the BBB and the police say one of the best places to conclude an online transaction is in the parking lot of a police station. Lots of officers there, lots of cameras there. They're always there 24 hours a day. They're things that bad guys don't particularly like. So they're a good place to be safe. But even then, they say it's best to do it in the daylight for maximum security. Now, in terms of that assault that occurred over the weekend on Saturday, police are asking anyone who lives in the West Dover area to check their doorbell cameras and check their dash cams to see if they have any evidence that might help them catch the people who did it. If they do, call them at Crime Stoppers or on the police non-emergency line at 403-266-1234. Tara?
Okay, Kevin, thank you. Police in Lethbridge have charged a 21-year-old man with the attempted murder of his twin brother. Officers responded to a report of a stabbing Saturday night at a home along Lakemount Boulevard South. A 21-year-old man was taken to hospital in medical distress. Police arrested the victim's twin brother at the scene and seized a knife believed to have been used in the attack. The victim was stabbed multiple times. Bailey Minus of Cardston is charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and assault with a weapon. His brother has been released from hospital and is recovering. Calgary police have charged 2 men and 3 women for allegedly defrauding a Southeast casino. According to CPS, management at Deerfoot Casino contacted them after becoming suspicious of 2 employees who had allegedly given illegitimate winnings to patrons. It's believed to have happened on several occasions during various card games. The accused, between the ages of 48 and 57 years old, are each charged with fraud over $5,000. A controversy surrounding the suspended president of the Alberta Soccer Association is now headed to court. Last month, the association suspended J.R. Figueiredo for 5 years after a workplace harassment investigation. The investigation concluded that Figueiredo made verbal threats and vexatious comments about an employee, interfered with staff operations, and created a negative or hostile work environment. CTV News has obtained court documents filed by 4 Alberta Soccer Associations, including the Calgary Women's Soccer Association, that are asking an Edmonton judge to overturn the suspension tomorrow. They argue proper procedure and bylaws were not followed. They want a judge to rule before a scheduled virtual meeting tomorrow night for all Alberta soccer groups so they can discuss the decision. The former president has also appealed his suspension. The Alberta government is renewing its talks with the city about pumping the brakes on bike lanes. The province is considering legislation to ensure bike lanes are not impacting road capacity in Calgary and in Edmonton. Jordan Canagan joins us along a bike lane with more tonight. And Jordan, the province wants Calgary to assess whether those lanes are slowing down travel times.
Exactly, Tara, and we may nearly be in the winter time, but the province wants more information before the city plans for any possible expansion to the bike lane network next summer. Specifically, the Alberta government wants to look at whether any bike lanes have replaced or restricted parking or vehicle traffic lanes to determine what impact, if any, it is having on business access or commute times. Despite the slush and snow, cyclists roll through Calgary's bike lanes, but future cycling infrastructure could be stalled.
I think there's a good case to be made that we should do a pause and a review on bike lanes. Let's see who's using them.
The province is looking at legislation that could scale back the amount of bike lanes. In a statement, the transportation minister is saying Alberta's government supports well-planned bike lanes when they are properly integrated and don't compromise road capacity. That's why I asked the city to provide a vehicle traffic impact assessment on the effect of bike lane conversions, including traffic volumes, travel times, and overall road capacity.
As a taxpayer, I'm offended that the province would waste time and money on meddling into decisions that the city is perfectly capable of managing themselves.
It's the latest push by the province to examine the use of bike lanes in Calgary's core and elsewhere.
So our council is absolutely committed to funding adequate transportation options for absolutely every single Calgarian. So that includes commuting by car, it includes active modes like walking or cycling, as well as transit.
City data shows hundreds of riders each day are tracked using bike lanes downtown, even in the colder months. And cyclists say the lanes shouldn't be looked at as a problem.
Putting bike lanes in where it's been done carefully and properly can be part of the solution in terms of avoiding congestion.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
The mayor and transportation minister say they're both open to collaborating on the issue, but no date has been set up for a formal meeting about bike lanes. It's a pretty mild night in Calgary, but elsewhere, not so much. Let's bring Danielle in now for an update.
You're right. You wouldn't know that so much is going to be and already started going on around us. So Calgary is not under a warning at this point. Neither is Lethbridge, and just to the east of Lethbridge. Everywhere else in southern Alberta is under something at this point. So just to quickly try and sum it up. In the far southwest corner, gusts up to 100 kilometers per hour possible this evening, overnight, and through tomorrow morning, and up to 90 kilometers per hour in Kananaskis area and up. Also a snowfall warning, Banff, K-Country, 15 centimeters just tonight, along with the strong winds, so that's snow and blowing snow and reduced visibility. Heading off to the east, basically east of QE2 and Highway 2, the biggest thing here is the mixed precipitation on the way for tomorrow morning, as well as a quick drop in temperatures, so all of that freezing really fast in the middle of the day out on the roads. And gusts up to 90 kilometers per hour possible south of Medicine Hat. We'll talk more about this coming up. 2 degrees is the temperature. Look how calm it is and quiet it is in Calgary. It's quite nice here, actually. But over these next 24 hours, the key thing you need to know for tomorrow's temperatures will drop throughout the day. There's a small chance of mixed precipitation in the morning, but you're looking at melting in the morning and then quick freezing as temperatures drop in the afternoon. So very slick sidewalks and roads possible. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Today, the federal government announced new measures that will make the path to permanent residency for international doctors easier. It comes at a time when millions of Canadians don't have access to primary care. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Nearly 6 million Canadians are without a primary care doctor, according to data from the Canadian Medical Association's Our Care survey, and physicians are feeling the pressure of carrying that workload.
Physician burnout is a very real thing. We hear a lot in the news about significant shortages of anesthesiologists and family doctors, but there's shortages in many other areas.
To help, the federal government is making it easier for international doctors to obtain permanent residence by creating an express entry category for those who have worked here for at least 1 year of the last 3 in a medical field. The government will also reserve 5,000 federal admission spaces for provinces and territories to nominate licensed doctors with job offers starting early next year.
Currently, it's estimated that around 13,000 internationally trained physicians in Canada are not working in their field. The changes announced today will help put their skills to work sooner, close staffing gaps, and provide more support to patients.
In a statement, the province says it welcomes the federal efforts to reduce barriers for foreign-trained physicians as it aligns with their own efforts to increase the number of doctors here. Meanwhile, the NDP plans to introduce a motion at the legislature that will improve workforce recruitment and retention.
There's a crisis in primary care. We have almost 1 million Albertans who don't have a family doctor or nurse practitioner. And then number 2, working with healthcare workers to actually develop the strategy around recruitment and retention. Because one of the reasons why there's a crisis is because a lot of them are leaving.
This is also a concern for Dr. Brian Wurzba, who calls the federal announcement a stopgap measure.
We welcome them, but we also want to ensure that our own young people are able to get into healthcare, those that want to get into healthcare, able to get spots in medical school and residency training programs so that we actually have a really bright future for healthcare long term, and we're not always relying on foreign trained physicians to prop up our system.
Jackie joins us from Sheldon Schumer tonight. So, Jackie, how can Calgarians access a physician if they need one?
Yes, sir. So if one of our viewers is looking for a new doctor, they can actually head to albertafindadoctor.ca, and from there you enter your address, and a map of different locations that are spotting physicians that are accepting new patients will pop up in front of you. From there you can add different preferences and filters, like if you need the office to be wheelchair accessible, or perhaps you have a preference for what gender your physician will be. You can do that there. It's also run by the Primary Care Alberta Network, so if it's easier for people, they are able to find it on the Alberta Health Services website. It'll connect you to that as well. But just once again, if they are looking for a physician, that is albertafindadoctor.ca. Tara?
Okay, Jackie, thank you.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
Video of a fight captured on a southwest Calgary road is going viral because of who was involved. Residents looked on as a pair of stags locked antlers. Tyson Fedor is in Bridlewood, and Tyson, many residents there got up close to this scrap, with many saying the deer are a part of this community.
Well, you could say ringside seats, and that's exactly what the Castellino family had in store for them on Saturday afternoon, as they got to see up close just how big these animals truly are and how much power that they have. The Castellino family were on their driveway around lunchtime Saturday, and that's when they witnessed 2 bucks lock antlers and duke it out in the middle of the road. Between October and December, it's known as the rut, or mating season, and this can be fairly common practice between bucks if there is a female doe nearby. A third deer could be seen in the video just a little further down the road, away from the fighting stags. Now, this housing estate is a 55-plus community located along Bridle Estates Road in the southwest. It also is nearby to Sutina Trail, which has a lot of wildlife. Neighbors say there are around a dozen deer that are in the neighborhood constantly and have embraced the community. However, many say that they are hesitant to even walk their dogs because of any potential confrontations such as this. These pictures show them coming up to back doors and laying down on outside patios in people's back gardens. The video has been seen tens of thousands of times across social media. The Castellinos declined on-camera interviews with CTV News on Monday, but they did tell us they were fearful that their car would be scratched from that fight. Now, in the end, both bucks did eventually come apart and head their separate ways, and no one was injured. Back to you.
Okay, Tyson, thank you. Get ready to be grounded if you're flying Air Transat. Some 700 Air Transat pilots could go on strike as early as Wednesday. We've got the details. And the head of Northback discusses the proposed Grassy Mountain Cove project, but not everyone who turned out for the Chamber event in Lethbridge was there to support it. Parts of Japan were rattled by a 7.6 magnitude earthquake today, triggering tsunami warnings and evacuations. It struck about 80 kilometers off the northeast coast, and it created 2-foot waves in some areas. Air Transat could be grounded as early as Wednesday morning after the union representing pilots issued a 3-day strike notice. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
Travelers at Toronto's Pearson Airport checked into their flights this afternoon with an added bit of uncertainty.
A little bit nervous, but I'm hoping everything will be okay and we'll be home next Monday.
The union representing Air Transat's pilots has issued a 72-hour strike notice, with pilots poised to walk off the job early Wednesday morning if an agreement is not reached.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not really much we can do about it.
In anticipation of a strike, Air Transat has begun bringing its passengers back home. The airline says flights have been operating as usual today, but it's not clear whether flights will be canceled Tuesday, which the airline had said was possible. The two sides have been in negotiations for nearly a year, and experts say the timing of this strike notice is no accident.
They're doing this because this is the period of time where Transat is making its most money. It's the busiest time of the year for Transat. Planes are full. Fares are high.
The two sides remain at the bargaining table, with ALPA, the Airline Pilots Association that represents the 700 Air Transat pilots, saying in a statement, while some progress has been made, there is still work to do. We are working tirelessly to reach an agreement that achieves the collective priorities of our group. Air Transat says it has offered its pilots wage increases of 59% over the next 5 years, a number the union has called creative accounting. The union's demands are considered unreasonable, and its premature actions carry serious consequences for customers, the company, and its 4,300 other employees. Air Transat has struggled financially over the last several years and has not turned an annual profit since 2018.
Asked last week if the federal government would intervene if Air Transat pilots hit the picket line, Jobs Minister Patty Hajdu declined to answer, calling the question hypothetical. Ottawa did get involved in August when Air Canada flight attendants went on strike. A back-to-work order the union ignored. Heather Wright, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
All right, let's bring Danielle back in now for a 5-day forecast. Things are changing tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think the key thing in all of southern Alberta is the drastic temperature drop throughout the day tomorrow. So that's going to lead to a lot of freezing in the middle of the day as temperatures quickly dip well below the freezing mark. This is Calgary. This is pretty much all communities. Then we have other things that we have to talk about on top of all of that. So just be prepared for the conditions to be quite slick because of all the melting going on overnight. Right now, for example, we're all above freezing. And then the melting overnight because we will continue to be warm overnight, and then that rapid freezing later in the day tomorrow as those temperatures really dip. 2 degrees is the temperature in Calgary, 3 in Lethbridge, Milk River, Medicine Hat, and 3 in Pincher Creek. It's been a mild day, but south of the city, a very windy day. Pincher Creek, 89, so nearly 90 kilometers per hour, and closer to 70 in Lethbridge. We are looking at very gusty conditions. This will enhance these wind speeds as we go through these next 24 hours, including tonight. So keep in mind, in the southwest corner, gusts up to 100 kilometers per hour possible. So that's tonight and through tomorrow morning. 90 kilometers per hour if you look Kananaskis and up. Also a snowfall warning in place for basically Lake Louise in through Banff, Canmore, down through all of Kananaskis. 15 centimeters of snow possible just tonight. When you combine that with these strong wind gusts, road conditions will be quite terrible because you're looking at low visibility and very slippery roads. When you look east of QE2, east of Highway 2, we have winter storm warnings in place. That's because we're looking at adding some mixed precipitation in the morning tomorrow, and then we're looking at rapid freezing, and that's going to quickly freeze everything out there and create very slick road conditions. So that's possible in all of these areas. Calgary, even though we don't have a warning in place, it's still possible here tomorrow afternoon, and gusts up to 90 kilometers per hour possible tonight through tomorrow morning, areas south of Medicine Hat. So this is quite a system. This is what it looks like right now on radar, and here's an idea of what it's going to do. Again, we're not looking at a lot of moisture or a lot of precipitation from this, but it will be isolated and it will be heavy in some isolated areas. Here's a look at tomorrow morning, for example, just some small bands, but certainly consistent long-term snowfall for the mountains. It should clear out tomorrow afternoon, but as it clears out, temperatures will drop really fast behind this, and that rapid freezing will lead to very slick roads. So everything out there that's been melting will freeze. A lot of icy spots out there tomorrow afternoon. -2 will be our high tomorrow in the city, but that's in the morning. In the afternoon, we're going to quickly drop to -5, and with the wind chill, it will feel well into the minus teens. We bounce back to +2 for Wednesday. Wednesday night, 1 to 3 centimeters of snow, and then Thursday, another 1 to 3. Friday, 3 to 5 centimeters. And with this next system that arrives then, it will really drop our temperatures. Your daytime highs will be in the minus teens for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Albertans can weigh in on the future of nuclear power in the province. A virtual town hall is taking place today. An expert panel is gathering feedback on how nuclear power could be integrated into Alberta's energy mix before it submits a report to the government. The next town halls are scheduled for Wednesday and then January 16th. Northback CEO Mike Young discussed the proposed Grassy Mountain coal project during a Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce event today. While business leaders gathered outside protesters gathered, calling for the controversial project to be scrapped. Here's Quinn Keenan.
About 100 people showed up to protest against the Grassy Mountain coal project outside of a Chamber of Commerce event. The proposed open-pit mine in the Crow's Nest Pass has received pushback over potential water contamination, among other issues.
We're fed up with having to express opposition to the Grassy Mountain mine. It was first proposed in 2013. It went through a federal provincial review, and it was rejected.
Inside the Coast Hotel, local business and political leaders heard a presentation from the CEO of Northback, the company behind the project. Media were not allowed to attend, but the chamber said the presentation stemmed from a desire to learn more about the project.
When we had a local member ask if we could do that, we thought, okay, there's interest in learning more and understanding this. So that's why we decided to open it up to our members, but also to non-members, just so we could hear all sides of the voice.
Coal advocates in attendance said these events allow the industry to answer questions and receive feedback. Rena Blacklaws is the former spokesperson for Northback and is now with the Coal Association of Canada.
I was here just to listen and learn to what some of the questions were, what some of the concerns were that are surrounding this project. This is an important project for Alberta and an opportunity to look at the plans and have the Alberta Energy Regulator digest it.
Still, others at the event said Northback was being evasive in answering several questions. In particular, the company directed questions about selenium contamination to the Alberta Energy Regulator.
I felt that they fell short. This was an opportunity to answer some very basic questions, and I thought they weren't being honest.
Northback CEO Mike Young would not speak with the media. Instead, a company statement said, "We appreciate the Chamber's invitation for Northback to provide an overview of the revised Grassy Mountain project. If approved, the revised Grassy Mountain mine plan will provide hundreds of direct and indirect jobs, both during mine construction and operation." Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Meantime, Alberta singer Corb Lund's petition to end all coal mining within the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains was approved today by Alberta's chief electoral officer. Lund now has 4 months to collect 177,000 signatures. The holiday season is upon us, and that means parties. Some Calgary venues are booked solid through to the new year, but the parties aren't quite as lavish as they used to be. We'll explain. And a reminder from police to make other arrangements if you're drinking at one of those holiday parties, because the check stops are out. While many kids are off to see Santa at the mall, many adults are enjoying holiday parties. A couple of Calgary venues are extra busy this year as companies look to celebrate their employees. But as Tyler Barrow explains, the festivities being thrown aren't quite what they used to be.
The Barcelona Tavern on Stephen Ave is mellowing out after a steady lunch rush as it prepares for another holiday party.
We are booked solid through until the 23rd. We're very lucky that way.
Which has been the case since late November. It has been reserving the entire restaurant while catering to office parties ranging in size from 20 to 200 people. Compared to last year, it's seen a 20% increase in the seasonal celebrations.
People are spending a little bit more is what we can see.
Blue Flame Kitchen is experiencing a similar increase for festive gatherings. It can host up to 700 people. Every Wednesday through Saturday has been booked solid from mid-November until December 17th.
We had a rough couple of years in the early 2020s, but people are starting to come back and they really want to celebrate.
While the number of parties is up, lavish celebrations are down.
We're seeing kind of the trend that the companies aren't spending as much money in regards to their Christmas parties.
The event group produces large-scale bookings. It secures the venue, catering, and entertainment. It is facilitating 5 events a week until December 20th, with clients booking parties for around 1,500 people.
Most average number is 20% cutback from last year. So it means we need to be more creative.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
If you're going to a holiday party, a warning from Calgary Police: do not drink and drive. Police staged check stops like this one on Stony Trail over the weekend. More than 1,000 vehicles were stopped at 2 locations. 2 drivers were given warnings. Police say impaired driving was a factor in at least 5 deaths on Calgary roads this year.
My advice to you is, if you're going out, get somebody to drive you back from your venue. Get a cab or a taxi or find somewhere to sleep for the night. Don't take that risk, especially with the road conditions we've got as well at the moment.
Police can stop drivers and conduct a roadside test for alcohol or drugs, even if they don't suspect impairment. A brazen heist of priceless art happened on Sunday, this time in Brazil. Police are gathering evidence from the Sao Paulo library where 2 armed men held up a security guard and fled out the main exit. Authorities aren't revealing the value of the stolen pieces, but 13 items were taken, including some works by Henri Matisse. One suspect has been identified. This art heist comes after thieves broke into the Louvre in Paris in October and stole jewelry worth around $100 million. And a water leak now at the Louvre late last month has damaged hundreds of works in the Egyptian department. The items date from the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Louvre officials say no heritage artifacts were affected. An internal investigation found the leak was caused by an accidental opening of a valve in the heating and ventilation system, which led to water seeping through the ceiling. How fast do you think you could pack some groceries? Calgary Council members went head-to-head for a food bank fundraiser today. We've got the champ next. Calgary City Council members are going toe-to-toe for a good cause. Mayor Jeremy Farkas and members of council were bagging potatoes at the food bank this morning. It's all part of the 37th annual Mayor's Christmas Food Drive. Council is challenging to see who can raise the most food and funds for the food bank throughout December. The food bank helps 800 households every day.
Also a good reminder that we need to step up, not just during the holidays, not just during Christmas, but every single day of the week, every single week of the year, every single month, because the need doesn't go away just after the holidays finish.
Today's winner was Ward 6 councillor John Pantazopoulos. He unseated 3-time champion Raj Dhaliwal.
Not giving anyone a chance to see the holiday train.
Well, that's a shot of the Canadian Pacific Kansas City holiday train flying through Masquercheese 2 years ago. It was shared and then poked fun of on social media, which prompted a change this year. The train slowed to a crawl as it moved between the community and Ponoka, giving residents a chance to actually catch the lights as it went by. A band councillor says it's working with CPKC to make Masquercheese one of the nearly 200 stops across Canada and the U.S. next year. All right, let's see what's trending tonight. Hollywood actor Ryan Reynolds recruited a big star, LA Dodgers Freddie Freeman, for his Sick Kids holiday campaign. It didn't go quite as planned.
It's me, Freddie Freeman.
What a loser.
Trust me, man. We know who you are.
You've really got some nerve coming here.
So Freeman is the all-star first baseman for the Dodgers, and he's guest starring in this fundraising commercial. But his role in defeating the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series this year makes him very unpopular among the sick kids' patients. They chased him out of there. They threw stuffed animals at him. They hurled insults, but it was all in good fun.
Freddie Freeman seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
You play along with it really well.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Another guy proud to be Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, it takes some talent to be able to pick up dance moves just by quickly watching someone else do it, but it's possible. Okay, at first I thought it was just the bouncing, but no. This is Jackson. He can do all the moves, and it was just by watching someone else do it first. The spinning on the back is what got me, and the legs kicking up in the air. It's like, no, he really is trying.
Jackson's going to win some competitions doing that, I'm telling you, right?
Yeah. That's pretty
good.
impressive.
I know.
Just like the guy on TV.
I know. Well, finally, this chess match left its competitors feeling a little breathless.
I realized that I actually could spend more time underwater. Like it's a moment just taking my time because I could hold my breath. I felt comfortable.
Get a load of this. So this is some of the top chess grandmasters in the world. They're in Cape Town for the Freestyle Chess Grand Slam. But before the main competition, some of them took part in diving chess. So it's chess, except you play it underwater. So, I mean, you can only think for as long as you can hold your breath. That's all you've got to make your move. It was invented back in 2013 as a way to add an extra challenge to the game.
You better know your move, right?
You better know. You don't have too much time to think. Yeah, you run out of breath, you lose your move.
This must be sponsored by Red Bull.
Exactly. Or by oxygen tanks or something. I don't know. Yeah. There's a new potential buyer for Warner Brothers. Paramount came in with a hostile bid today. We have the details in our business report.
Your Skywatch weather camera showing you a really decent evening. I mean, we're getting into the middle of December here. Temperatures are very mild, and there's snow out there. We do have to worry about what happens over the next few days. That's what we have to talk about. This evening in the city, just in the city, is actually quite calm and quite nice. Right now, temperature 2 in Calgary. We got to a high of 7 earlier today. It's 3 in Lethbridge, 3 in Medicine Hat. This is a look at all the warnings around us. So Calgary is not under any sort of warning, but just to the west, 90-kilometer-per-hour gusts possible tonight through tomorrow. To the far southwest corner, 100-kilometer-per-hour gusts possible tonight and tomorrow. And then the biggest thing east of Highway 2 and QE2, along with the strong winds, mixed precipitation, reduced visibility. Also looking at the fact of a quick freeze tomorrow afternoon as temperatures plummet really fast. Also, Banff down through Kananaskis under snowfall warning, 15 centimeters of snow possible just tonight. From this, because we're looking at consistent longer-term snowfall in the mountains. Looking at that 24-hour forecast, which is brought to you by Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. Tomorrow in Calgary, it will be fairly gusty, 50 kilometers per hour. We have the small chance of getting some isolated mixed precipitation in the morning. One key thing for tomorrow is temperatures will drop throughout the day rather than warm. So all the melting we've been having will freeze out there. And so that will make for some slick road and sidewalk conditions. All right, 7 degrees for Kelowna and Salmon Arm tomorrow, minus 13 for Edmonton with snowfall, mixed precipitation. And for all communities in the far south, we are looking at that mixed precipitation possible in the morning and then clearing out in the afternoon. And as it clears out, temperatures will drop fast. A high of 4 for Lethbridge in the morning and 3 for Medicine Hat. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. A Calgary couple say they feared for their lives after the sale of a laptop suddenly turned violent. 2 men who responded to a Facebook Marketplace ad tried to rob the couple in their southeast Calgary home. A man was pepper sprayed and a woman fought back with a snow shovel before the culprits got away. The Alberta government is pressing the cities of Calgary and Edmonton for data on bike lanes. The province is considering legislation to prevent bike lanes from slowing down other traffic. And Ottawa has announced new measures to make it easier for international doctors to achieve permanent residency in Canada. The goal is to give patients better access and decrease wait times. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is creating a naughty and nice list for Christmas this year. Daniel Smith makes the nice list for saving taxpayers money by blocking the rights of teachers to strike. The premiers of Nova Scotia also made the nice list for cutting taxes, and the premier of Saskatchewan for cutting the carbon tax. But the premiers of Ontario and Quebec are on the naughty list. Doug Ford gave politicians a large pay raise, and François Legault continues to charge a consumer carbon tax. The CTF says it's a mixed bag this year.
You got some provinces that are doing good. We highlighted Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston, who cut income taxes, sales tax, and small business taxes. We highlighted Premier Scott Moe in Saskatchewan, who rightfully made Saskatchewan the first carbon tax-free province in Canada. But then you got Premier Doug Ford. 'Tis the season for giving.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is a not-for-profit group dedicated to lower taxes, less waste, and accountable government. The nominations for the 83rd Annual Golden Globes have been announced, and the big front-runner is no surprise.
I need to find my daughter.
Well, then call us back when you have the time.
You just...
Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another has been nominated for 6 awards, including Best Director. The Norwegian drama Sentimental Value has also been nominated for 6 awards. Korean-Canadian director Maggie Kang earned a nod for Best Animated Feature for her debut film K-Pop Demon Hunters. Only days after Netflix announced a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount Skydance launched a hostile takeover bid. BNN Bloomberg's Marla Fernandez has more.
The media and entertainment company put a $108 billion deal on the table. That includes assuming Warner Brothers Discovery debt. The Netflix offer is about $83 billion US. If Warner Brothers decides to accept the new offer, it would be forced to pay Netflix just under $3 billion US as a penalty. Whichever way it goes, a deal would likely face some sort of federal review. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar, 72.16. West Texas Intermediate crude is down over $1 to 58.86. Western Canadian Select is up to 46.74. And the TSX lost 141 points today to end the day at 31,169. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marla Fernandez.
We're learning the storm that rolled through Brooks and surrounding area this summer caused $235 million in damage. That's according to the Insurance Bureau of Canada. The storm hit Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba between August 20th and 21st. Southern Alberta took the brunt of it with hailstones as big as 70 millimeters in diameter. Winds were recorded as high as 165 kilometers an hour, lasting 20 minutes or more. All buildings with west-facing plastic siding suffered 50 to 100% damage. There was also heavy damage to roofs and vehicles, and some crops were totally wiped out. Alberta aurora chasers says there's a good chance there will be a full sky aurora tonight. It's thanks to a strong solar flare that was facing Earth on Saturday. It's expected to arrive very late tonight into early hours tomorrow morning. If strong enough, the full sky aurora could even last until tomorrow night. The Flames are looking to make it 3 in a row tonight when they host the Sabres. Glenn has an injury update on Zane Parekh that is coming up next.
Elliott can't get the puck out. Molgachev on the pass from Macbeth. Side of the net. Moore in front. Shot. Scores!
That's exciting. Ethan Moore's goal for the Calgary Hitmen triggered the annual teddy bear toss on Sunday. Fans threw thousands of stuffed animals onto the ice down at the Saddle Dome. The bears are being distributed to more than 60 local agencies for the holiday season. That is awesome. The Calgary Flames look to make it 3 in a row at the Dome tonight. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn Zane Parekh is back on the ice with the Flames.
Terry's been on the ice for a little bit in a non-contact jersey. Parekh won't play a game for the Flames until the new year. That's because he'll be busy trying to win gold with Canada at the World Junior Hockey Tournament. Last year, Zane Parekh didn't make Team Canada's World Junior roster, and it was a huge disappointment for the young defenseman. This year, Parekh will have a chance to play a big role for Team Canada. He's been invited to the team's training camp in Niagara Falls prior to the start of the World Junior Championship in Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota.
You know, every time you put that jersey on, you feel, a sense of pride and,
it's a special feeling putting it on, and it's a tournament I watched, growing up every Christmas time. So being able to, represent the Canada and finally, get my chance in that tournament, it'll be fun.
Parekh is hoping the World Junior Tournament will help him find his game. He's the first to admit it hasn't been a great start to his first NHL season.
I think it'll be good to just, go, build some confidence, play my game, and just kind of have fun. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of leash there and, be able to, make plays and kind of do my thing. So, should be coming back with hopefully a lot of confidence.
Mackenzie Weegar thinks playing at the World Juniors is exactly what the 19-year-old needs right now.
He's going to go back and play with, some kids his age. I know his best buddy there, Misa's going to be there. And, he can just, be the big dog around there and have some fun and keep that swag. I know I'll be tuning in that whole time watching him now that he's out there. But I'm happy for him. I think it's going to be great, and he's going to come back and, have that, confidence and swagger.
Parekh's been out of the lineup since November 7th when he suffered an upper body injury after taking this hit from Chicago Blackhawks forward Nick Foligno. Head coach Ryan Huska believes Parekh will come back from the World Juniors a much better player.
So my hope is that he goes and has an excellent camp so he earns a spot on the team, and then he has a terrific tournament from there, and he comes back with some swagger and he steps right in and is ready to go again for us.
Parekh isn't the only Flames prospect to get an invite to training camp. Cole Reshney also has a chance to make Team Canada's roster at the World Juniors. And there was a new face at Flames practice. A pregame skate this morning. Hunter Bustevich has been called up from the Calgary Wranglers to take the place of Jake Bean, who's dealing with something right now. Bustevich won't be in the lineup tonight, but Huska says he will see action at some point. Bustevich says he's learned a lot from playing in the American Hockey League and feels he is ready for this jump.
Mature, consistency, I think those two big words for me. Realizing when the time is and when to do the plays versus not. And, consistency, obviously, just being good every game. Even if you don't feel it, find something that can help the team win.
He's been playing well for the Wranglers. He's a good young prospect that we do have, and I think over the stretch of a regular season, you want to, one, reward guys for playing well, but two, see if he's improved the things that we've asked him to work on when he gets his chance.
Flames and Sabres puck drop for that game in just a few moments at the Scotiabank Saddledome.
Thank you, Glenn. Let's take another peek at the weather because things are changing tomorrow. People need to know about that.
Drastically, yes. Calgary and all of southern Alberta. A little more drastic outside of the city, but in the city, -2 will be our high. That will be in early morning hours, and then -5 in the afternoon. By the time we get to -5, the wind chill will make it feel at least closer to -13, -15. Also gusts around 50 kilometers per hour, morning precipitation, and then flash freezing really as temperatures drop off fast. All right, Wednesday, fairly quiet, and then check out the cooler temperatures, much colder temperatures. Daytime highs in the -teens and overnight lows in the -20s Thursday, Friday, with a decent amount of snowfall by then. All right, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And this one is from Kevin Zwack, Elbow River in the Weasel Head. I would say this is the nice calm before the storm, right? Where it looks nice, not melted and then frozen with all the extra snow and wind.
Yeah, picture that again tomorrow. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you tomorrow.